I never thought I'd find myself living a story that seemed straight out of a TV drama. My name is Michael, and I'm a university professor. For 10 years, I was married to Emily, and we had 2 sons, David and Ethan. We met at a party where my aunt had suggested to my mother that I should ask Emily out. I wasn't interested in dating back then, as I was engrossed in my PhD studies. However, Emily's beauty captivated me. Encouraged by my parents, I asked her out, and we had a wonderful first date. She was studying dentistry at the time. Our families were thrilled with our relationship, and after a year of dating, we got married. For a decade, our lives seemed perfect. Emily was a great mother and wife, and I never suspected any problems in our marriage until a month ago. One evening, Emily came home late from her clinic. I tried calling her, but she didn't answer. When I called the clinic, the receptionist informed me that Emily hadn't been there that day. This news made me anxious. Later that night, when she finally came home, she looked exhausted. Before I could ask her why she took the day off, she told me she had a busy day at the clinic and needed to sleep. I knew she was lying. That night, I couldn't sleep. I noticed that she smelled of alcohol, something she never drunk in our 10 years of marriage. I tried to calm myself, thinking there must be a reasonable explanation, but my mind was racing with doubts. The next morning, I left for work early, avoiding any confrontation. When I returned home, I saw Emily through the window, texting someone and smiling. When I entered, she quickly put her phone away and greeted me with an uncharacteristically cold, "Hello." Later, I asked her to make me a cup of coffee. She brought it to me, still texting and smiling. I glanced over and saw Ethan nearly getting burned by the hot coffee she was carelessly holding. Furious, I shouted at her for the first time in our marriage. We sat down to talk, and I asked her where her attention was. She claimed she had met an old friend and they had caught up the previous night. She still didn't mention not being at the clinic or drinking alcohol. Her lies continued to eat away at me. Over the next few days, I noticed more strange behavior. One night, I overheard her talking on the phone at 4 a.m. She was complaining about our marriage, calling me boring and lamenting the lack of excitement in our sex life. She mentioned needing spice in her life. Hearing this broke my heart. I'd always thought she was happy with me. I started following her and discovered that she was meeting a man named Robert. They were exchanging flirtatious messages and even explicit photos. I collected evidence, including screenshots and photos of them together. One day, I followed her to Robert's house and saw her embrace him with flowers in her hand. My heart shattered. I decided to confront her. I prepared meticulously, gathering all the proof I needed. Our nanny, an old family friend, helped by informing me when Emily left the house. One day I got a call from Emily, sobbing and saying Ethan had fallen from a ladder and broken his arm. I rushed to the hospital, only to find out it was a minor injury. I was relieved but furious that her negligence caused the accident. When we got home, I confronted her. She admitted to dating Robert in high school and breaking up with him because he was jobless. She married me because her father, also a dentist, wanted her to marry someone respectable to inherit his clinic. Reuniting with Robert reignited her feelings, leading to the affair. She begged for another chance, but I had no sympathy left. I stayed with a friend for a few days to clear my head. When I returned, the house was decorated with flowers and balloons. Emily tried to apologize and pretend everything was normal, but I saw through her act. On Ethan's birthday, I decided it was time to reveal the truth. I had gathered our families and handed Emily's father a gift, photos, and evidence of her affair. Her father was furious, and I presented Emily with divorce papers. The shock on her face was satisfying. She had destroyed our marriage and my trust, and now she had to face the consequences. In the weeks leading up to Ethan's birthday, my suspicions grew stronger. Emily's behavior was increasingly erratic. She spent more time on her phone, often smiling at messages and quickly hiding the screen when I entered the room. Her once attentive and loving demeanor had turned cold and distant. I decided to dig deeper, determined to uncover the truth. I started by checking her phone when she wasn't around. Emily had always been very secretive about her phone, which I had previously dismissed as a quirk. But now it seemed more sinister. I found a notebook where she wrote down her passwords, a habit from her forgetful nature. Using the password, I accessed her phone and found a treasure trove of incriminating messages and photos exchanged with Robert. The messages revealed an ongoing affair that had started months ago. They spoke of secret meetings, passionate encounters, and plans for the future. My heart ached with each message I read. The woman I had loved and trusted for a decade was betraying me with another man. The pain was unbearable, but I knew I needed more evidence. I followed her several times, watching her meet Robert at various locations, cafes, parks, and even his apartment. I took photos, collected screenshots, and documented everything. The more I discovered, the more determined I became to confront her and end this deceitful chapter of my life. One evening, Emily came home unusually late again. I was waiting for her in the living room, my heart pounding with anticipation and anger. When she walked in, she looked surprised to see me still up. "Michael, why are you still awake?" she asked, feigning concern. "I couldn't sleep," I replied coldly. "We need to talk." She hesitated but sat down across from me. I took a deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. "Emily, I know about Robert," I said, watching her face for a reaction. Her eyes widened in shock, and she opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. "I've seen the messages, the photos, everything," I continued. "You've been lying to me, cheating on me, and betraying our family." Tears welled up in her eyes, and she began to sob. "Michael, please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain," I interrupted. "You chose to betray me. You chose to lie. There's no excuse for what you've done." Emily fell to her knees, pleading for forgiveness. "I'm so sorry, Michael. I made a mistake. I never meant to hurt you. Please, give me another chance." I shook my head, the anger and pain overwhelming me. "I can't trust you anymore, Emily. Our marriage is over." The next few days were a blur of emotions. I stayed with my friend David, who provided a much-needed support system. He listened as I poured out my heart, sharing every painful detail of the betrayal. David, who had known Emily and me since college, was shocked and saddened by the news. During this time, I prepared for the inevitable confrontation. I gathered all the evidence, ensuring I had everything I needed to present the truth to our families. I wanted them to know what had happened, to understand why our marriage was ending. On Ethan's birthday, I put my plan into action. The house was filled with family and friends, all there to celebrate our son's special day. Emily was trying hard to act normal, but I could see the anxiety in her eyes. She knew something was coming. After the cake-cutting ceremony, I called for everyone's attention. Emily looked at me, her eyes pleading, but I remained resolute. "I have something important to share," I began, my voice steady. "For the past few months, Emily has been having an affair with another man. I've gathered all the evidence, and I want you all to see it." I handed Emily's father a folder containing the photos and messages. As he flipped through the pages, his face turned red with anger. He stood up, shouting at Emily for her betrayal. The room was filled with gasps and murmurs as everyone processed the shocking revelation. Emily broke down in tears, begging for forgiveness, but I remained firm. "I'm filing for divorce," I said, handing her the papers. "This marriage is over." The aftermath was chaotic. Emily's parents were devastated, my family was in shock, and our friends were speechless. I knew it would take time for everyone to process what had happened, but I felt a sense of relief. The truth was out, and I could finally begin to heal. In the following weeks, I focused on rebuilding my life. I poured myself into my work, spent quality time with my sons, and leaned on my friends for support. The pain of betrayal would always be with me, but I was determined to move forward. Emily and I arranged a custody agreement for David and Ethan. She would see them on weekends, but they would live with me. I wanted to provide a stable and loving home for my boys, free from the turmoil that had plagued our lives. Emily tried to win me back several times, but I remained steadfast in my decision. The trust was broken, and there was no going back. I knew I deserved better, and so did my sons. As I navigated this new chapter of my life, I found solace in small victories. Each day without confrontation was a step towards healing. My friends and family rallied around me, offering support and encouragement. David and Ethan, though young, sensed the changes and clung to me more than ever. Their resilience inspired me to be strong, to provide them with the stability they deserved. Emily, on the other hand, struggled to adjust. Her attempts to reconcile were persistent but futile. She had made her choices, and now she had to live with the consequences. The few times she saw the boys, she tried to mask her sorrow with forced smiles and superficial conversations. But David, being older and more perceptive, understood the undercurrent of tension. He once asked me, "Dad, why does Mom seem so sad all the time?" I gently explained that sometimes adults make mistakes, and we all have to deal with the results of those mistakes. As the weeks turned into months, I started to rediscover myself. I reconnected with old hobbies, took up new ones, and focused on my career. The university provided a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of my personal life. My colleagues, too, offered support in their ways. Some offered a listening ear, while others provided distractions through engaging discussions about work and life. One day, while I was preparing for a lecture, I received a call from Emily. She sounded distraught, her voice shaking. "Michael, I need to talk to you. It's urgent." Reluctantly, I agreed to meet her at a nearby park. When I arrived, I found her sitting on a bench, her face streaked with tears. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with a mixture of regret and desperation. "Michael, I've lost everything," she began. "My family, my job, my dignity. I don't know what to do." I took a deep breath, trying to muster some compassion. "Emily, you made your choices. You knew the risks and the consequences. Now you have to live with them." She nodded, wiping her tears. "I know, and I deserve everything that's happening, but I need your help, please. For the sake of our children, help me get back on my feet." Her plea tugged at my heart. Despite everything, she was still the mother of my children. I couldn't turn my back completely. "I'll help you, Emily, but this doesn't mean we're getting back together. I'll support you for the sake of David and Ethan, nothing more." Over the next few weeks, I helped her find a new job in a small apartment close to the boys' school. It was a challenging process, filled with moments of frustration and resentment. But I kept reminding myself that this was for the children, not for her. Slowly, she began to rebuild her life, albeit in a much humbler manner than before. One evening, after dropping the boys off at Emily's new place, I found myself reflecting on the past few months. The pain of betrayal still lingered, but it was no longer overwhelming. I had found strength in my children, my work, and my friends. I realized that while Emily's betrayal had shattered my trust, it had also forced me to confront my vulnerabilities and grow stronger as a result. A few months later, on a sunny afternoon, I decided to take David and Ethan on a camping trip. It was something we had talked about for years, but never got around to doing. The excitement in their eyes was contagious, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a genuine sense of happiness. The trip was a resounding success. We hiked, fished, and sat around the campfire sharing stories. David, ever the curious one, asked about my childhood adventures, and I shared tales of my youth, painting a picture of a simpler, carefree time. Ethan, meanwhile, was content just being close, his small hand in mine as we navigated the trails. On the last night of our trip, as we sat by the fire, David turned to me and said, "Dad, I'm really glad we did this. I know things have been tough, but you're the best dad ever." His words, innocent and heartfelt, brought tears to my eyes. It was a reminder of why I had to stay strong, why I had to keep moving forward. Back home, life began to settle into a new rhythm. The boys thrived in school and enjoyed their weekends with their mother. Emily and I maintained a cordial relationship for their sake, but there was no room for anything beyond co-parenting. I continued to focus on my career, receiving a promotion that had been long overdue. My dedication and hard work had paid off, providing me with a sense of accomplishment and stability. One day, while I was grading papers in my office, I received a knock on the door. It was my colleague, Lisa, holding 2 cups of coffee. "Mind if I join you?" she asked with a warm smile. Lisa had been a supportive friend throughout the ordeal, always offering a listening ear and a kind word. We chatted about work, the students, and eventually, our personal lives. Lisa shared her own experiences of heartbreak and recovery, and I found solace in knowing I wasn't alone. Our conversations became more frequent, and over time, a genuine friendship blossomed. As the seasons changed, so did my outlook on life. The scars of betrayal remained, but they no longer defined me. I had learned to trust again, albeit cautiously. I found joy in the small moments, like watching David score a goal in his soccer game or helping Ethan with his science project. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, David approached me with a thoughtful expression. "Dad, do you think you'll ever get married again?" His question caught me off guard, but I appreciated his honesty. "I don't know, David," I replied, setting the table. "But right now, I'm happy focusing on you and Ethan. You two are my priority." He nodded, seemingly satisfied with my answer. "Just know that we want you to be happy too, Dad." His words stayed with me long after he had gone to bed. It was a reminder that while my children were my world, I also deserved happiness. Slowly, I began to entertain the idea of opening my heart again, not rushing, but allowing myself to be open to new possibilities. One weekend, while the boys were with Emily, I decided to attend a colleague's dinner party. It was a rare social outing for me, and I was hesitant at first. But Lisa convinced me to go, promising it would be a good distraction. At the party, I mingled with old friends and made new acquaintances. It felt good to be in a social setting again, to laugh and engage in light-hearted conversations. As the evening progressed, I found myself talking to Sarah, a charming woman with a keen interest in literature. We shared stories and laughed over shared experiences. There was an ease to our conversation, a comfort that felt refreshing. Over the next few weeks, Sarah and I kept in touch. We went out for coffee, attended a few events together, and slowly, a deeper connection formed. She understood my past and respected my pace, never pushing but always being there. It was a slow, cautious journey, but one that brought a new sense of hope. Meanwhile, Emily continued to rebuild her life. She found solace in therapy, working through her issues and trying to become a better person. Our interactions remained civil, and she often expressed gratitude for my support during her difficult times. While the wounds of betrayal would never fully heal, I began to see her as a flawed human being rather than just the person who had hurt me. As the months passed, I found myself in a better place, both emotionally and mentally. My relationship with Sarah blossomed, bringing a renewed sense of happiness. David and Ethan were thriving, their laughter filling our home with joy. And Emily, too, seemed to find her path, though our lives remained separate. Looking back, I realized that the betrayal, as painful as it was, had forced me to grow in ways I never imagined. It has shown me the importance of resilience, the strength of community, and the power of self-love. I had emerged from the darkness with a deeper understanding of myself and a renewed appreciation for the people who stood by me. On a crisp autumn day, as I watched David and Ethan play in the park, Sarah by my side, I felt a profound sense of peace. Life had taken unexpected turns, but in the end, it led me to a place of genuine contentment. I knew there would always be challenges, but with my children, my friends, and my newfound love, I was ready to face whatever the future held. And so, with each passing day, I embraced the journey of healing and growth, knowing that while the past had shaped me, it did not define my future. I had found my strength, my happiness, and above all, my ability to trust and love again. As the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, my life settled into a new, more stable rhythm. My relationship with Sarah deepened, bringing me a sense of happiness I hadn't felt in years. We took things slowly, mindful of my past and the need to build a foundation of trust and mutual respect. She became a regular part of our lives, joining us for family dinners, attending the boys' soccer games, and participating in our weekend outings. David and Ethan adored her, which brought immense joy to my heart. They had been through so much, and seeing them happy and secure again was a testament to their resilience. Our home, once filled with tension and uncertainty, was now a place of warmth and laughter. Emily, too, continued on her path of self-improvement. Therapy had helped her confront her issues, and she seemed genuinely committed to becoming a better person and mother. Our co-parenting arrangement worked smoothly, and we communicated effectively for the sake of the boys, although our interactions remained limited to discussions about the children. There was a newfound respect and understanding between us. One evening, as I was tucking Ethan into bed, he looked up at me with his big, innocent eyes and asked, "Dad, are you happy now?" His question caught me off guard, but I realized how perceptive my children were. They had witnessed my struggles and were now seeing my journey toward healing. "Yes, Ethan, I am happy," I replied, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. "And having you and David in my life makes me the happiest." He smiled, content with my answer, and soon drifted off to sleep. Watching my children grow and thrive was the greatest reward. Their well-being was a constant reminder of why I had to stay strong and keep moving forward. As the holidays approached, I decided to plan a special trip for the boys and Sarah. We rented a cabin in the mountains, a perfect getaway to unwind and enjoy nature. The anticipation of the trip brought excitement and joy to our household. The trip was everything I had hoped for and more. We spent our days hiking, building snowmen, and roasting marshmallows by the fireplace. The boys loved every moment, and the serene surroundings provided a much-needed escape from the hustle and bustle of daily life. One evening, as we sat by the fire, Sarah took my hand and said, "Michael, I've seen you go through so much, and I'm so proud of the person you are. You're an amazing father and a wonderful partner. I feel blessed to be a part of your life." Her words touched me deeply. "Thank you, Sarah. Your support has meant the world to me. I couldn't have come this far without you." In that moment, surrounded by the people I loved, I felt a profound sense of gratitude. Life had thrown many challenges my way, but it had also given me the strength to overcome them and find happiness again. Back home, the festive season was in full swing. We decorated the house, baked cookies, and prepared for the celebrations. Emily and I coordinated the holiday plans, ensuring that the boys spent time with both of us. Despite everything that had happened, we both wanted to create positive memories for David and Ethan. On Christmas Eve, we gathered with family and friends for a festive dinner. The boys were excited, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. Sarah was by my side, her presence a comforting reminder of how far we had come. Emily arrived later with gifts for the boys, and we all exchanged pleasantries. It was a moment of unity, a testament to our commitment to co-parenting and moving forward. That night, as I watched the boys open their presents, I felt a sense of peace. The journey had been long and arduous, but we had come out stronger. My heart was full, not just with love for my children, but also with hope for the future. As the new year approached, I reflected on the past and set my sights on the future. I resolved to embrace each day with gratitude and to continue nurturing the relationships that brought me joy and fulfillment. I was determined to be the best father, partner, and person I could be. One day, as I was walking through the university campus, I ran into an old friend, Mark, who had been out of touch for years. We decided to grab coffee and catch up. As we reminisced and shared our current life stories, I realized how much I had changed and grown. Mark was surprised to hear about everything I had been through, but he was supportive and encouraging. Our conversation reminded me of the importance of maintaining connections and cherishing friendships. Life had a way of bringing people back into our lives at the right time, and I was grateful for the reconnection. Meanwhile, my relationship with Sarah continued to flourish. We shared a deep bond, built on trust and mutual respect. She understood my past and accepted me for who I was, flaws and all. Together, we created a loving and supportive environment for the boys, who thrived in the positive atmosphere. One weekend, we decided to take a spontaneous trip to the beach. The boys were thrilled, and the idea of sun, sand, and waves brought a sense of excitement. As we walked along the shore, hand in hand, I felt a sense of contentment that had eluded me for so long. David and Ethan built sand castles, their laughter filling the air. Sarah and I watched them, our hearts full of joy. It was in these simple moments that I found true happiness. The journey had been difficult, but it had led me to a place of peace and fulfillment. As the sun set over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, I realized how far I had come. The pain of betrayal was a distant memory, replaced by the warmth of new beginnings. I had found love, trust, and happiness again, and I was ready to embrace whatever the future held. Back at home, life continued to move forward. The boys excelled in school, and their enthusiasm for learning and life was contagious. Emily and I maintained a cordial relationship, focusing on our roles as co-parents. She had found a new sense of purpose, and while our paths had diverged, I was glad she was doing better. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, Sarah approached me with a thoughtful expression. "Michael, there's something I want to talk to you about," she said, her voice gentle. "Of course. What's on your mind?" I replied, curious. She took a deep breath. "I've been offered a job opportunity abroad. It's a great position, but it means I'd have to move. I wanted to discuss it with you before making any decisions." Her words hit me like a ton of bricks. The thought of her leaving was painful, but I knew I had to support her dreams and ambitions. "Sarah, that's incredible news. I'm so proud of you. We'll figure this out together no matter what." We spent the next few days discussing the possibilities and weighing our options. It was a difficult decision, but we both knew that supporting each other's growth was essential. In the end, Sarah decided to take the job, and we agreed to maintain a long-distance relationship. The transition was challenging, but our bond remained strong. We visited each other as often as possible, and technology helped bridge the gap. The boys adored her and looked forward to her visits, their bond with her growing stronger each day. As time went on, I continued to focus on my career and my role as a father. The challenges of the past had made me resilient, and I was determined to provide the best life for my children. I watched them grow, their personalities blossoming and their achievements filling me with pride. One day, while sitting in my office, I received a call from Emily. She sounded anxious, her voice trembling. "Michael, I need to talk to you. It's about David." My heart sank. "What happened? Is he okay?" "He's fine, but he's been having a tough time at school. I think we need to address it together." We met at a nearby cafe to discuss the situation. David had been struggling with his studies, and his teachers had noticed a change in his behavior. We both agreed that he needed additional support, and we worked together to create a plan to help him. Through our joint efforts, David began to improve. We enrolled him in tutoring sessions and spent more time helping him with his homework. It was a challenging period, but it brought us closer as co-parents. We both realized the importance of working together for the well-being of our children. Meanwhile, my relationship with Sarah continued to thrive despite the distance. Our love grew stronger, and we looked forward to the day when we could be together again permanently. The time apart made us appreciate each other even more, and our bond was unbreakable. As the years passed, life continued to bring new challenges and opportunities. I watched my children grow into confident, kind-hearted individuals, their resilience a testament to their strength. My career flourished, and I found fulfillment in my work and personal life. Emily and I remained committed to co-parenting, and our relationship evolved into one of mutual respect and understanding. We both had come a long way, and while the past could never be erased, we had found a way to move forward. One sunny afternoon, as I sat on the porch watching David and Ethan play in the yard, I felt a profound sense of gratitude. Life had taken unexpected turns, but it had also brought me to a place of peace and fulfillment. I had found love, trust, and happiness again, and I was ready to embrace whatever the future held. And so, with each passing day, I continued to embrace the journey of healing and growth, knowing that while the past had shaped me, it did not define my future. I had found my strength, my happiness, and above all, my ability to trust and love again. The journey had been difficult, but it had taught me valuable lessons about resilience, forgiveness, and the importance of surrounding myself with supportive and loving people. Sarah and I navigated the complexities of a long-distance relationship with grace and determination. Our communication was constant, and we made the most of our visits together. Each reunion was filled with joy, and each farewell strengthened our commitment to one another. We celebrated our milestones, big and small, cherishing the love that had grown between us. Meanwhile, I continued to focus on my role as a father. David and Ethan thrived in school and extracurricular activities. David's initial struggles had turned into triumphs, and Ethan's curiosity and enthusiasm for life were boundless. Our home was a sanctuary of laughter, learning, and love. One summer, we planned a special trip to visit Sarah. The boys were excited about the adventure, and the anticipation of reuniting with Sarah filled our hearts with joy. We explored new places, created beautiful memories, and deepened our bond as a family. The trip was a testament to the strength of our love and the resilience of our family. During one of our visits, Sarah and I sat on a quiet beach, watching the sunset. The horizon was painted with hues of orange and pink, and the sound of the waves provided a soothing backdrop. "Michael," Sarah began, her voice soft but steady, "I've been thinking about our future. This long-distance relationship has shown me how strong we are together. I want to take the next step with you. I want us to be a family." Her words filled me with a sense of joy and excitement. "Sarah, I feel the same way. You, David, and Ethan mean everything to me. Let's make this happen." We spent the next few months planning for our future together. Sarah decided to return home, finding a job that allowed her to be closer to us. The boys were thrilled with the news, and we eagerly anticipated the new chapter in our lives. The day Sarah moved back was filled with celebration. Our home was once again complete, and the joy we felt was immeasurable. We settled into a routine, finding comfort in the familiarity of our daily lives. Our love continued to grow, and we made plans for a future filled with hope and happiness. One evening, as we sat down for dinner, David looked at me with a serious expression. "Dad, I've been thinking a lot about everything we've been through. I know it was hard, but I'm grateful for how things turned out. We have an amazing family." His words brought tears to my eyes. "David, I'm grateful too. We've all grown and learned so much. I'm so proud of you and Ethan, and I'm thankful every day for Sarah and the love we share." As we continued to navigate our new life together, I found a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. My career flourished, and I took on new challenges with confidence. The boys continued to excel, and our family thrived in an environment of love and support. One day, while organizing old photos, I came across a picture of Emily and me from our wedding day. It was a bittersweet reminder of the past, but it also highlighted how far we had come. I reached out to Emily, suggesting we have a conversation about the past and the future. We met at a cafe, a place filled with memories of happier times. Emily looked nervous but determined. "Michael, I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting. I want to apologize again for everything. I know I've hurt you and the boys, and I'm truly sorry." I nodded, appreciating her honesty. "Emily, the past was painful, but it's also behind us. We've both moved on and found our paths. What matters now is that we continue to support David and Ethan and be the best co-parents we can be." Our conversation was a turning point. We acknowledged our past mistakes, forgave each other, and committed to a future focused on our children. It was a moment of closure and healing, allowing us both to move forward with a sense of peace. As the years passed, our lives continued to evolve. The boys grew into remarkable young men, their strength and character a source of pride. Sarah and I deepened our bond, and our family thrived in an atmosphere of love, trust, and mutual respect. One spring morning, as we prepared for David's high school graduation, I reflected on the journey that had brought us here. The pain and betrayal of the past had given way to a future filled with hope and joy. I had found love again, built a strong and supportive family, and rediscovered my strength and resilience. David's graduation was a momentous occasion. As he walked across the stage to receive his diploma, I felt a surge of pride and emotion. He had overcome so much and achieved so many things. His future was bright, and I knew he would continue to make us proud. That evening, we celebrated with family and friends. Emily joined us, and we shared a moment of reflection and gratitude. The journey had been difficult, but it had led us to a place of understanding and mutual respect. We had found a way to move forward, support our children, and create a positive environment for their growth. As the sun set on that memorable day, I felt a profound sense of peace. The past, with all its pain and challenges, had shaped us but did not define us. We had emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The future was filled with promise, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. Over the next few years, life continued to bring new challenges and opportunities. David went off to college, pursuing his dreams with determination and enthusiasm. Ethan, inspired by his brother's success, excelled in his studies and extracurricular activities. Our home was filled with laughter, love, and a sense of purpose. Sarah and I decided to take the next step in our relationship, planning a small and intimate wedding. The boys were excited and supportive, and our families came together to celebrate our love. The wedding was a beautiful and joyous occasion, a testament to the love and resilience that had brought us together. As we stood before our family and friends exchanging vows, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. Sarah had been my rock, my partner, and my best friend. Together, we had built a life filled with love, trust, and happiness. The years that followed were filled with new adventures and experiences. We traveled, explored new hobbies, and continued to support our children as they pursued their dreams. Our home was a haven of love and laughter, a place where we created cherished memories. One summer evening, as we sat on the porch watching the sunset, Sarah turned to me and said, "Michael, I can't believe how far we've come. Our journey hasn't been easy, but it's been worth every moment." I smiled, taking her hand in mine. "Sarah, you've brought so much joy and love into my life. I'm grateful for every day we have together. The journey has made us stronger, and I wouldn't change a thing." As we watched the sky turn shades of pink and orange, I reflected on the incredible journey that had brought us here. The pain and betrayal of the past had given way to a future filled with love, trust, and happiness. I had found my strength, my purpose, and my ability to love again. Our family continued to thrive, and I found fulfillment in both my personal and professional life. The lessons of the past had shaped me, but they did not define me. I had emerged from the darkness with a renewed sense of hope and a deep appreciation for the love and support that surrounded me. One day, as we prepared for Ethan's high school graduation, I felt a sense of déjà vu. The pride and emotion that filled my heart were reminiscent of David's graduation years earlier. Ethan had grown into a remarkable young man, and his future was filled with promise. The graduation ceremony was a celebration of hard work, determination, and resilience. As Ethan walked across the stage to receive his diploma, I couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. He had overcome so much and achieved so many things. His future was bright, and I knew he would continue to make us proud. That evening, we celebrated with family and friends, reflecting on the journey that had brought us here. Emily joined us, and we shared a moment of gratitude and reflection. The past had been difficult, but it had led us to a place of understanding and mutual respect. As the sun set on that memorable day, I felt a profound sense of peace. The journey had been long and challenging, but it had also been filled with growth, love, and resilience. The future was filled with promise, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. In the years that followed, life continued to bring new challenges and opportunities. David and Ethan pursued their dreams, achieving success in their chosen fields. Sarah and I continued to build a life filled with love, trust, and happiness. We faced each challenge with determination and resilience, knowing that together we could overcome anything. Our love and support for each other were unwavering, and our bond grew stronger with each passing day. As I looked back on the journey that had brought us here, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. The pain and betrayal of the past had given way to a future filled with hope, joy, and fulfillment. I had found my strength, my purpose, and my ability to love again. And so, with each passing day, I embraced the journey of healing and growth, knowing that while the past had shaped me, it did not define my future. I had found my strength, my happiness, and above all, my ability to trust and love again. Narrative flow. The journey of healing, growth, and love continues, reflecting the resilience and strength found through overcoming adversity. As the years progressed, our family continued to flourish. David and Ethan embarked on their respective paths, each finding success and fulfillment in their chosen fields. Their accomplishments brought immense pride and joy, serving as a testament to their resilience and determination. David, now a college graduate, pursued a career in environmental science. His passion for nature and sustainability led him to work on various conservation projects. He often shared stories of his adventures, and his enthusiasm was infectious. Watching him grow into a dedicated and compassionate individual filled my heart with pride. Ethan, inspired by his brother's achievements, excelled in his studies and pursued a degree in engineering. His innovative spirit and problem-solving skills shone brightly, earning him accolades and recognition. As he navigated the challenges of college life, he remained grounded and focused, embodying the values we had instilled in him. Sarah and I continued to nurture our relationship, finding joy in the everyday moments and building a life filled with love and laughter. We traveled to new places, explored shared interests, and created cherished memories. Our bond grew stronger with each passing day, and our love provided a solid foundation for our family. One evening, as we sat in our backyard watching the stars, Sarah turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Michael, I've been thinking about our future. The boys are grown, and we're in a good place. What do you think about starting a new chapter? Maybe even a new adventure?" Her words sparked a sense of excitement. "What do you have in mind?" I asked, curious about her thoughts. "I've always dreamed of opening a bed and breakfast," she said with a smile. "A place where people can find comfort and relaxation, just like we found in each other." The idea resonated with me. It felt like the perfect way to combine our love for hospitality and our desire to create a welcoming space for others. "I think that's a wonderful idea, Sarah. Let's do it." Over the next few months, we poured our hearts into making the dream a reality. We found a charming property in a picturesque location and began the process of transforming it into a cozy bed and breakfast. The boys were supportive and excited about our new venture, offering their help and encouragement. The journey of creating our bed and breakfast was filled with hard work and dedication, but it also brought immense satisfaction. We designed each room with care, ensuring every detail reflected our vision of comfort and warmth. Sarah's eye for design and my knack for organization proved to be the perfect combination. As the opening day approached, we felt a mixture of nervousness and excitement. We had put our hearts and souls into this project, and now it was time to share it with the world. Our first guests arrived, and the positive feedback was overwhelming. They appreciated the personal touches and the welcoming atmosphere we had created. Running the bed and breakfast brought new challenges and opportunities. We met people from all walks of life, each with their own stories and experiences. The connections we made enriched our lives, and the satisfaction of providing a haven for our guests was immeasurable. One evening, as we sat on the porch of our bed and breakfast, watching the sunset, I turned to Sarah with a sense of fulfillment. "This place, this life we've built together, it's more than I ever dreamed of." Sarah smiled, her eyes reflecting the golden hues of the sunset. "It's because we've faced everything together, Michael. The highs and the lows, the joy and the pain, and we've come out stronger because of it." As the years continued to pass, our bed and breakfast flourished, becoming a beloved destination for travelers seeking comfort and connection. David and Ethan visited often, bringing their own families and sharing stories of their adventures. Our home was filled with laughter, love, and the joy of family reunions. Reflecting on the journey, I realized how far we had come. The pain of betrayal and the challenges we had faced had shaped us, but they did not define us. We had found strength in each other, built a life filled with love and purpose, and created a legacy of resilience and compassion. One winter morning, as we prepared for the holiday season, I felt a sense of nostalgia. The decorations, the festive atmosphere, and the anticipation of family gatherings brought back memories of past Christmases. This year, we decided to host a special holiday celebration at our bed and breakfast, inviting friends, family, and guests to join us. The celebration was a beautiful blend of tradition and new experiences. We decorated the bed and breakfast with twinkling lights, festive ornaments, and a grand Christmas tree in the main hall. The aroma of freshly baked cookies and holiday treats filled the air, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. As the guests arrived, the house buzzed with excitement and joy. Laughter echoed through the halls, and the spirit of togetherness enveloped us all. David and Ethan, along with their families, were central to the celebrations. Watching them interact with our guests, sharing stories and creating memories, filled me with pride and happiness. On Christmas Eve, we gathered around the fireplace, a tradition we had maintained over the years. Sarah and I took a moment to reflect on our journey, sharing a quiet conversation amidst the festive chaos. "Michael," Sarah said softly, her hand in mine, "this is everything I've ever dreamed of. A home filled with love, a family that supports each other, and a community that embraces us. I'm grateful for every moment." I nodded, feeling the same deep sense of gratitude. We've been through so much, but it's brought us to this place of happiness and fulfillment. I'm thankful for you, for the boys, and for the life we've built together. As the fire crackled and the night grew colder, we exchanged gifts and shared heartfelt moments with our loved ones. The holiday celebration was a testament to the love and resilience that had carried us through the years. In the following months, we continued to expand our bed and breakfast, adding new features and experiences for our guests. We hosted themed events, workshops, and retreats, creating a vibrant and dynamic community. The feedback from our guests was overwhelmingly positive, and many became regular visitors, drawn to the warmth and hospitality we offered. David and Ethan continued to excel in their careers, their achievements a constant source of pride. They often visited, bringing their own families and sharing their successes and challenges. Our family gatherings were filled with joy, laughter, and the comfort of knowing we had each other's support. One summer, we decided to take a family trip to a national park, a place David had always wanted to explore. The trip was a wonderful adventure, filled with hiking, wildlife spotting, and nights spent under the stars. It was a reminder of the importance of family and the joy of shared experiences. As we sat around the campfire one evening, David turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Dad, I've been thinking about everything we've been through, the ups and downs, the challenges and triumphs. I'm grateful for the lessons you've taught us and the strength you've shown." His words touched me deeply. "David, I'm proud of you and Ethan. You've both grown into incredible individuals, and I'm grateful for the journey we've shared. Life has its challenges, but it's the love and support of family that carry us through." As the years continued to pass, our lives remained filled with love, growth, and new experiences. Sarah and I found joy in the everyday moments, appreciating the beauty of our shared life. Our bed and breakfast became a beloved destination, and our family grew closer with each passing year. Reflecting on the journey, I realized that the pain of betrayal and the challenges we had faced had led us to a place of profound happiness and fulfillment. We had built a life filled with love, trust, and resilience, creating a legacy of strength and compassion for future generations. One autumn afternoon, as Sarah and I strolled through the garden of our bed and breakfast, she turned to me with a smile. "Michael, do you ever think about how far we've come? From the pain and heartbreak to this beautiful life we've built together?" I nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "Every day, Sarah. The journey hasn't been easy, but it's brought us to a place of love and fulfillment. I'm grateful for every moment we've shared and for the future we continue to build together." As we walked hand in hand, the golden leaves rustling underfoot, I felt a sense of peace and contentment. The past has shaped us, but it did not define us. We had emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient, ready to embrace whatever the future held. And so, with each passing day, we continued to cherish the journey of healing and growth, knowing that the love and trust we had found would carry us through any challenge. We had created a life filled with purpose, joy, and a deep appreciation for the strength of the human spirit. Our bed and breakfast remained a haven of comfort and connection, welcoming guests from all walks of life. The relationships we built and the stories we shared enriched our lives, and brought us closer to our community. Each day was a new opportunity to create lasting memories and to touch the lives of those who visited us. As the seasons changed, we celebrated milestones, both big and small, with gratitude and joy. Our family continued to grow, and the bonds we had forged through adversity became the foundation of a life filled with love and happiness. Looking back on the journey, I realized that the pain and betrayal of the past had ultimately led us to a place of profound peace and fulfillment. We had found strength in each other, built a life filled with love and purpose, and created a legacy of resilience and compassion. And so, with each passing day, we embraced the journey of healing and growth, knowing that while the past had shaped us, it did not define our future.